Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode. I've got some students with me today. I got Landy Woolever, I've got Maddie James, and Josh Garnett with us here today. We are going to be talking about the mission trip that we just took to Asbury University, which is located in
Kentucky.
Wilmore, Kentucky, right?
Almost.
And
Yeah, so we stayed at Asbury University at the campus there, and we got to see all the buildings. They had a big yard, like just commons area. It was all like pretty green, bunch of trees, not many cornfields, bunch of hills.
had some really good speakers in worship, right?
Yeah.
The speaker, who remember his name?
Jeremiah
Scott, right? And he would always say, all right, y'all, get out your swords. And we're like, swords? He was talking about the Bible. So we quickly learned, and anytime he talked about coincidences, he always said something. Right, you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Coincidence? I think not. It's really funny. And what did we do for our service project?
Taught little kids about the Bible at a random park.
Okay, right?
Park evangelism.
They called it park evangelism. That was the word. Come to find out, they struggled to find things to do. Other groups had some really cool things to do. Like one group was like doing a lot of weeding. Somebody was painting inside. And our group was just park evangelism. But Maddie, can you tell us a little bit about what happened at park evangelism?
So, it was a good experience. There weren't a ton of kids at our park. So, it was a lot of like youth bonding time, which was, it was nice. The Kentucky heat was
pretty intense that first day. Yeah.
But the kids that came were super sweet. We played soccer with them, did chalk. We told them Bible stories. Unfortunately, the last day got rained out, so we didn't get to finish that. But it was a good experience.
It was, yeah. And one of the girls' groups, I had approached the guy the first day that we were there. He was sitting by himself, and he didn't speak any English. So I went up to him. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "I don't speak English." He was Spanish speaking, and so luckily we had some girls who could interpret. And they could speak to him, and so they had some really good conversations with him. We learned a lot about who he is, a little bit of his story. I got to talk to him a little bit about Jesus and try to get him connected to a church, which is really cool. But once we got back to camp at night, because we would serve from like about 1 to about 4, we came back. We had some time to chill, get showered up, and then we would go to dinner, and then from dinner we would go back to worship and what? Preaching, right? And we broke up into church group, and y'all had lots of free time at night. So what kind of stuff did you do in your free time at Asbury on a college campus?
Well, there's a bit of a beauty spa happening in the girls' dorms.
Tell us about this. This is the first time hearing of it.
Well, a couple of us brought like nail polish. So we had some fun with that. And there was a half of a movie. I've never seen the B movie, and I know why my parents never watched it with me now. But it was nice to get to know them a little better. We had fun setting up the dorm, trying make it look nice. So.
Yeah, nice. All right, Landy, what did you do in your free time? You kind of seem to be like a free roamer on campus. So, you kind of just.
A little bit.
We
We played some like 500 with the Ultimate Frisbee the first night.
Yeah.
We played some euchre, a little bit of euchre. We found this like secret underground rec room like the second night.
Yeah. Who remembers the theme for the week?
Dwell.
And what was Dwell all about?
Focusing on God instead of other distractions.
Right. Focusing God instead of other distractions. So who remembers like the different big words that we had throughout the week? Each day was kind of divided into like a different, it was within Dwell, but like what were some of the day's themes for those?
Like the first one was like refuge, and how like God is our refuge, and how we go to God and we like need protection, and He keeps us safe and stuff.
Psalm 46, I believe.
I think so.
Psalm 46. Yep. God is our refuge and our strength. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So refuge was the first one. The second one was
with us.
Yep. So he is with us, and talks a lot about that. Then the third one was
Was that rest?
rest was one of them, and
faithfulness.
faithfulness. Yep.
Okay, I'm
It was
not sure.
rest,
rest and
then
faithfulness.
faithfulness.
Yes.
Faithfulness. Okay.
Anything else from Jeremiah?
I found the story he shared about missionaries. I don't remember what the country was, but it was
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm.
They were preaching with the tribe, and they had another like enemy, rival tribe, who didn't like the message that they were sharing, and they came to attack them in the middle of the night. And instead of running away or fighting, they'd pray in the tent.
Yeah.
And slowly the drums that they'd been hearing just started to.
We got to the last night. We had our last worship session. We got to hear Jeremiah speak another word. And then we had Mega Relay. Lots of yelling. So what was
I had
Mega
a
Relay?
major head.
They had us in this, so because it was raining, or had been raining, we couldn't go outside like they usually had it. So they had it in the gym. And with, probably 100 screaming kids and
More than 100, Maddie. There was
Way
probably
more.
close to like
a
250.
a lot of screaming kids in this gymnasium with the microphone going. You couldn't really hear anything. She was yelling instructions, so we just kind of went with the flow and assumed someone around us heard it.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything.
I did not know what we were doing.
Yeah, I just kind of went with the flow.
But they had us organized into teams based on our Bible study group. Mm-hmm. So they had different names. We were Frenzy. There was
Team Frenzy?
Frenzy.
Wow.
Lived up to it. There was the Hurricane, Supernova, a bunch of these different names. I'm not really sure where they got them.
Tornado
but
was one of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tornado was one of them.
Go Tornadoes.
Yeah, this guy got to have face paint.
Yes, you had face paint. The both of you had face paint on, I believe.
Yeah. And I didn't realize how many Bible study groups there were until they crowded us all into a gym.
I didn't either.
Yeah. But they had lanes set up for each relay, and the relays were made up of the Bible study groups with different, you could say events. So they had human ring toss where you threw a hula hoop on top of like the other person and they had to throw it on you. They had a
As you
four-person
ran, right?
as you ran.
As you ran, so kind of like, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like human ring toss. And they had 4-person planks, or not planks, push-ups. So you had to like interlock your feet and then
Yeah, I can't remember
all
the
4
name
push off
they
the
called
ground.
those. What? How did they call those?
I wasn't
Extremely
in that
difficult
one.
They were hard. Like it was almost like a Lincoln Log style, like 14 push-up that
It
everybody
had
had to be able
something
to
to
push
do
up at the
with
same
like
time. They had to be
obstacles,
connected.
didn't it?
Popsicle
Oh, yeah.
push-ups is what they called it.
Well, it's like we went
Popsicle
over it in
push-ups.
class and figured out who was going to do that. But then the 4 guys who were supposed to do it went up there during the competition and had no clue what to do. They stood there for 30 seconds trying to like get lined up. Finally, an adult had to come over and say, "Hey, no, switch it up like this."
Yeah. It looks intense. I was not a part of that.
No.
What else? What was the other things that we had to do?
I was not in that one. No, they had one where you all had to run out and lay on the ground to form a line to the end of your lane.
Yeah.
They had
They
one
had you-
where you made like a circle and then everyone else was inside, or like 2 circles, linking hands, and you had to run to the end and back. And
That was hard.
I fell over.
Yeah, I
and
about
got
fell over,
stuck,
too.
And I got stepped on.
Oh,
Oh,
ouch. Ouch. Yeah, but it was fun, right?
it was really
Would y'all go
It was
back?
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I would.
Yeah. So, most important question. Where did you see God at work at this camp?
For me, I definitely saw God, and so at the mission site, with the Spanish speaking man, I believe his name is Lionel.
Yep.
I didn't go over there. I don't speak fluent enough Spanish. I didn't want to overwhelm him, but he, I know that they were talking to him, about like God and church and whatnot. They were helping teach him a few Spanish words. He didn't know any, or English words.
English words, yep.
He didn't know any. He said it cost. I think they said he said it cost too much to learn English. But he was working. I think it was like a restaurant, and so they taught him words, about like tables and foods, and they gave him a balloon with John 3:16 written in Spanish on it. And as we were packing up, he was leaving too. He was walking down the sidewalk, and he was grinning, ear to ear. I waved at him, and I couldn't hear him, of course, but I saw him mouth "bye" in English. And I think we helped, or they helped connect him to people who could help him find a church. And even if he doesn't end up going, I think he definitely connected to God, or realized there's something out there.
Well, yeah. So almost any camp you go to, mission trip camp, they have this thing called like Cry Night, where it's like they build up the whole week trying to build up like relationships, get people closer to God, have like people who might not have already accepted Christ accept Christ. Then all culminates on their Cry Night. They like try to make everything just oriented to like get that emotional response. And so at like towards the end of Cry Night, they said everybody stand up if you accepted Christ for the first time this week. And it was really cool to see like all the people moving around. We had
how many salvations did we have that week? There was quite a few.
Like, probably 5 or 6 from our group of like 20 stand up, maybe 4 or 5.
Yep. And most of those were, kind of just like recommitments to Christ. But there was like some legit like salvations from other groups there.
Yeah.
I mean, kids who were so against Jesus that had an amazing encounter with Jesus. And I mean, the celebration that we had at the end was really cool. I mean, I think at that point in time of like 250 people there, I honestly think there was like probably 15 students that actually were giving their lives to Christ for the first time, which was amazing to witness, right?
There was a girl so she wasn't in our group or anything. We didn't really know her, but they were in the dorms like down the hall. And I didn't hear this firsthand. She was telling one of my friends, but she accepted Christ for the first time, and she said she was praying, and she felt like arms like wrap around her, which I just thought was amazing.
Yeah. Josh, where'd you see God at work?
I saw God at work through sort of Cry Night, but a bit more than that. Like, I saw people who were really sad, who seemed to be like, crying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw people who were really happy, and I just thought, this is the Christian life.
Mm-hmm.
You may be sad, but you'll be happy in heaven.
Mm-hmm. What would you guys have to say about kids who might want to go next year?
I would say that it was an overall great experience, and they should really consider it.
Yeah.
Even if they've already accepted Christ, they don't feel like they have anything to learn. I mean, I'm sure if they've got the same preacher, someone different, they're going to learn something. And it's a great opportunity to bond with the people within your group and others. Especially, I mean, we met a girl from another group. I mean, she was close enough that we had a sleepover.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, it was a great experience meeting new people and other Christians, too, who believe the same things we do.
Yeah. Landry?
Yeah, it's a great way to like interact with Christians from other states and stuff. And it's pretty cool to be able to walk around a college campus and just kind of get a feel for, since I'm going to be a senior, I'm kind of touring campuses and stuff and just kind of get a little bit of a feel of how that would be in a way, like campus life. And if you're looking for like not like a full camp, but you want to do a little bit of mission work too, and these future trips are pretty good with that.
Yeah, I felt like it was the best of both worlds. And for some of y'all, it was the first time that y'all were like legit away from home, from your parents for that long. And you know what? I think it helped some of y'all like just see what it's like to kind of take care of yourself, right? Because we kind of gave you guys some freedom. Like, all right, here's where you need to be. Like, make good decisions. And I was really impressed that we really didn't have too many issues of people staying up too late, staying out too late, or anything like that. So it was an awesome experience. It was great to be a part of it. All right, y'all, we cannot wait to see who joins us next year for Fuge Camps, because we are going back and we are going to Nashville, Tennessee. Staying on Belmont University's campus. So super excited about that for next year. So be on the lookout for information like that. And anything else y'all want to say to everybody before we take off? All right. Peace.